Pretty simple today. I figured a new way to actually feed them and be able to watch them eat. And that way is this. This tank doesn't tend to go off till I go to sleep. And that's usually anywhere from the time frame of 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'm a late sleeper and I usually wake pretty early. So there's the little pea puffer. He's turned around. He's running away. There's a goby. They like to swim up at the top a lot. I know that usually is a sign that they're going for air and isn't good, but you know, I don't see why they would need to go for air when there's that much air circulation. Oh crud, my light fell off the back. I'm gonna go for like 20 or 30 minutes. So if you guys just feel the need to chit chat or ask questions, ask away. I just put this in there tonight, this Anubis here, and then I put that Anubis there. That's a petite Anubis, and that's a large Anubis. And these swords look like they're struggling a bit. I put some Flourish in tonight. I meant to put this in tonight, but it's a Flourish tab. But I figure I pour some Flourish in there. It shouldn't need the Flourish tab, if that makes any sense. Anyhow, I figured putting all that on top of it, as well as burying it in the substrate, might also help these plants grow. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I also moved everything around tonight in here. But yeah, a lot of people have been like saying stuff about the flow is too much for pea puffers, but honestly, if I had my beta in here, I could see that being too much for him, and to put a check valve on there. But honestly, they don't look like they're ever struggling. I mean, you never see a goby do that. You're usually seeing them all the way down at the bottom and doing this, laying on a leaf. You know what I'm saying? So that to me shows good sign, because the goby's swimming freely. To whereas at the store, I always see them at the bottom. Oh, he's eating. Let's see. Actually, that might... No, wait. Let's get close. Is that the male or the female? Looks like the male. I've got 2 males in here and 1 female. And how you can tell is they've got little things behind their eyes. A lot of people don't know that with pea puffers. That's how you tell. So they've got little mimickers by their eyes. That's the easiest way I can explain it. They almost look like little crow's feet. Look at that guy back there. I didn't really do a water change in this tank tonight. I did more of a water add. I probably should have changed a little water, but I'll do that tomorrow or the next day. And then I'll do probably something like this much. And if you're wondering why the net's in there, if you look at the net has worms in it. I figure that's a better way to feed them because they tend to let it sit in the bottom of the substrate, and that way I don't have to overfeed the gobies, because the gobies tend to clean up after the puffers. If the puffers don't eat everything, the gobies will. That's why I got them, because my puffers weren't really eating everything. Oops, I just put my finger in front of the camera. And because they weren't eating everything, I figured, what will eat everything after them? And I figured, get two gobies. Two gobies started eating everything, so. And I've been told by various different people different things, that these are 100% freshwater fish, but no, I've been told that they're also brackish when they're mating, so. But only when they're mating, so. What does that tell you? Maybe they can swim in streams, possibly, or dirty streams, you know? That's what I thought, you know, because that's usually some brackish water is a dirty stream where the minerals build higher than they normally would in a river. This is the only tank awake right now, so, I mean, I'd take you to the garage, but this tank's up, because I'm up. And I tend to forget the lights on in here. I should probably take that Anubis leaf out of there, because it's dead. I tend to go through and take stuff out of here twice a week if it's died back or whatnot. I put shrimp in here every 3 weeks. They tend to get eaten by these guys. As small as they are, they do destroy. You probably wouldn't expect them to kill other things, but yeah, they'll go after shrimp. They'll annihilate a shrimp within 2 days. So basically, I put, what was it, 5 shrimp in here the other week. They're already gone. I put 5 shrimp in my cichlid tank. I think the cichlids ate them within the first 3 days, but these guys ate them within the week, and they were really just there to clean off the stuff on that. You see all that, the algae buildup, brown algae. I don't really like that, and shrimp are really the only thing that will take care of that, if you didn't know. Because snails, they'll just build more of that. They'll eat up their worth in it, and then they'll build up more. There's the puffers. They're like, get that light out of my face, you asshole. I just fed them like an hour ago. That's why the net's still in there, because there's still some worms in there trying to get out of the net. I do it that way because, as you can see, the holes are decently sized on my net. So, I mean, they get stuck, but they sit there for a while, and they actually get clean in the water as well. So they don't have all that gook on them when the fish go and eat them. Pea puffer. That's the baby. I just rearranged the light that was normally on the let's see, the side here. You see how it's all dirty right there? Thank you. That's why I actually am streaming, because it is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Thanks for the birthday wishes, Jimmy. You are the first YouTube person to give me a happy birthday wish. But yeah, like, you see how cloudy it is right there? I just wiped out a lot of algae out of there. There was like really bright green algae. And thanks a lot, though. That really does mean a lot to me. You know, I've been feeling I should do a video for the memory of Kosh and add in pictures. It's really sad that we lost a friend like that. And it's so blue because that's a glow light. It's mainly for the tetras that I have in there. There's 3 or 4 tetras. I think 4. I kind of distance myself when stuff like that happens because I've had a lot of loss in my life, and I don't really know how to deal with it, if that is a correct way to say it. And I tend to, I don't know if you guys have noticed in the last couple of weeks, I have been like really standoffish about making videos, or vice versa. Not really talking as much in videos, or if I am, I'm kind of just rambling. And that's the reason why, because I don't deal with depressive things like that very well. What's up, cop? Aquarium cop. I was thinking maybe some sand would help in this tank a little bit. You know, because I've already mixed the substrate twice. Or 3 times. No, 3 times, because there's the green, the black, and then there's the brown. Yeah. I suppose you're right. Oh, he just attacked him. He did not like what he was doing. You saw that too. Yeah, it might be a little hard to queen, but it'll actually promote for the pea puffers to start breeding, because they actually breed better in sand, I've been told. And they also have them in sand over at the LFS. But I don't know how they grow their plants in sand. That must be really hard. He's getting stuck. Like, they do have some sand in a planted tank, but it's black sand, and that might be how they grow plants in it. It might be mixed with some sort of ferts. Yeah, he's a little dick, I think. Actually, hold on, we'll see. No, that's the female. My bad. That's not little dick. And you're probably wondering how I can tell. Well, she doesn't have the little marks behind her eyes. That's how you can tell. He does. Yeah, it is a pain to clean. You are correct. In my next Sickwood tank, I'm doing sand. So, and I've heard that with Sickwood tanks, you have to swap the sand every 8 months to a year. Oh, did you just see that? The littlest pea puffer just attacked the biggest one. He's got some turds hanging out there. I've never seen him eat yet. So that's kind of why I was recording them right now too. Because I would like to get him on film eating, because I'm gonna eventually probably put a 20-gallon long on this desk, or I mean dresser, and put like 15 of these guys in there. Shh. I know that's a bit of overstocking, but the reason why I say 15 is because to me that sounds like the right number for little guys like this, and then overly plant it. And the other reason why I want to do like 15 of these little guys is because I really badly have the urge to want to breed them. I've wanted to breed them since I first saw them. That is sad. I am very sorry you don't see pea puffers. No, this is actually a 10-gallon. A lot of people ask me, why do you do that to fish? Why do you put them in such a cramped space? Okay, the reason I did this is because the people at the store told me I could. And the guy at the store also told me that he's done this before. And that these were the first fish that he ever kept. Well, one of the guys at the store said that. And they got along fine. And yeah, although they may be carnivores, they tend not to bug each other, and they get along fine. And the little tetras you see swimming around, I got those out of just a batch of food for my Oscars when I used to have 2 Oscars. And lo and behold, the Oscars didn't last long. They lasted about 3 months for me. They got too big too fast, and I didn't take a lot of videos with them. So there you go. There's the answer why you didn't see a lot of video footage of the Oscars. Well, you saw one Oscar, but he was kind of a dick, and he left fast because he used to bite me a lot. I used to be obsessed with Oscars as a kid. Now I can take or leave Oscars. I like the fancy long-tailed ones though. Those have really like always been a favorite of mine. He is spazzing. Okay, let's disable the flash and see if that helps you guys. But yeah, the blue light is really for when it's nighttime. I'll do this usually, and they'll have one side that is lit, one side that isn't. I actually just got done replanting this tank, and I might need to put a scoop of pH in it, because I don't know if you can see on this side how there's like a little bit of cloudiness. You mean, did I dump Sprint yet? No, I have not. We do that at the end of the month, so that way we don't have to pay $160? Yeah, $160. And then we go over to Verizon, which I think is going to be a godsend. But yeah, that's this tank without the white light on. So you guys get the difference. No more leased phones for Mama Bear. Exactly. We don't want no more leased phones. They screwed us with putting us in this last lease. See, my phone, I got it before they started doing that whole leasing program. And I actually will own my phone at the end of mine, like paying for mine, to whereas she will never own her phone, which really sucks. Oh, and little bit of good news, guys. Hopefully in the near future, someone's gonna give me the learning experience to work at the fish store, because I know the mom and pop that own the fish store, and they want to kind of take more of a lean back stance and work, or not work as much, like kind of lean towards retiring. But they're still going to own the store. It's just going to be more co-owned by their son, which I find very cool. But I've been like hassling him about giving me a job, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks your boy here has a job and doesn't have to complain about money or anything. And yeah, until then, I'm an unemployed college student. Which I don't mind, don't get me wrong. That's all fine and dandy. But when it comes down to it, we all need to eat. We all need a job. And if you don't work, you don't eat. It says that in the Bible. Not trying to preach on people today. It is my birthday, but I'm just saying what I've always been told. You don't work, you don't eat. I've always loved the little pea puffers. How they only get an inch and a half is just like, to me, it blows my mind. Their tenacity though. Their little mean spunk. I remember telling a LFS employee that his tank was overflowing and dripping all over product, and I didn't get a discount. You know what? They should have gave you a discount, because you just, by technicality, you were saving them money. I'm just saying. That's just me. That if that were my store, that would be another way around. I'd be happy that they told me instead of just let it go. You know? That's just me, though. I want to see if I get some different colored shrimp that maybe the tetras will leave them, or the gobies will leave them alone, but one can only hope. And I think I need to lower the general hardness of the water before I can even try to get some shrimp in here again, because it be hard. Between my 20 and my 10 gallon, it's some of the hardest water I've ever seen in my whole life. And that's not even talking about the salt water in the living room, which we'll get to in a week, because in a week it'll have fish, because I order the filter. Oh, he's got turds hanging out too. Yeah, California water is always hard, you're right. I totally just like covered this thing though, and it's still producing too many bubbles. I need to get a what's it called on there? A valve check. Some of my Gambusia I've owned for like 3 years. They've made it through every pH drop to every pH spike. They've made it through it all. One of my pea puffers is blue-eyed, the other one is red-eyed, and one is green-eyed. It's really odd that they can all come in different eye colors. I have bamboo in the garage, but I don't have any that is clean enough to go in here. And I'm thinking if I do end up putting these guys up into a 20 gallon, like I was talking about, that I will probably try to put my beta in with them and see how it goes. If it doesn't last, then there's these little hang-on things that you can put in a tank where the beta can basically live in. And although it's not a very big box, it will suffice. And Jimmy, that could also be due to what your Wi-Fi is. Like if your Wi-Fi is either a 5G or a 2G. Okay, so your 2G will work better somewhere like all around, and your 5G will work better like closer to your modem or your router. That's what I got told 2 weeks ago. And vice versa, your internet, your actual, you know, if you're like me and you get 300 megabytes at the node, yeah, that's your problem. See, if you just switch it to where you have it on just one, instead of have it to where it goes back and forth between the two, that'll fix your whole yeah, the 5G sucks for me too. I tend to always use the 2G. No, it isn't because he has a Samsung. Because my mom, or my sister-in-law has a Samsung too, and my brother has a Samsung, and they both work pretty good like mine. Ah, oh, my fingers. But yeah, the plants, this is my planted tank. I figured I'd take all my Anubis out of the cichlid tanks because they were just ripping it apart, because they've gotten to that age where they just don't want to leave plants the hell alone. So, or not Anubis, what am I? Yeah, no. Yeah, Anubis. And they leave the Java fern alone, so I just left my Java fern that are in that tank there. Okay, so basically the pinging, somebody was pinging my system and giving me what you call a ping of death to your modem or your router, and that is basically called a denial of service. It's not really hacking. It kind of can be considered hacking, but it's more like a DDoS attack. and basically they're just pinging your modem or your internet, sending thousands of packets a minute and dropping you off your service. That's basically all that is. It's called a denial of service, like I've said before. And basically they're just taking your internet and using it, and then sending you packets at the same time. He's flaring his little fins, his little side fins. He rarely does that. Yeah, it is BS. It's totally like illegal too, and people will do it to you all the time, and they can get away with it, and sometimes they can get away with it to where it's just so small that they're using like a tenth of your internet service. And if I make this sound any easier, like they basically just use a small percentage, and then if they want to tax you really hard, they'll use a full percentage, which in order to do that, it has to be multiple people attacking you. And the only reason I know this is because I sat there on tech support with some asshole for 4.5 hours, and yeah, he basically educated me on this whole subject. Not only that, I've dealt with it before. I mean, I'm not that technical savvy, but I kinda am. Yeah, I'm not even exaggerating on that. I actually hate being on the phone with anyone of technical support, because I am the type that basically you explain to me how to do it, I get it done. I don't like somebody else having to do it for me. I feel alienated when I have somebody else have to do a project for me. I know that sounds stupid, but it's just the way I'm wired. I mean, yeah, I'm the type, let me speak to your supervisor. I don't want some peon. But that's just me being a man, I guess, at the end of the day, because my dad was the same way. I wanted to push all the plants to the back, but Mom wouldn't help me, so I just figured I'd do it by myself. I'll just leave it how it is, and if I want to change it, I'll fix it later on this week, or something like that. There's a little bit of water pooling there. That's from the net being on top there. Oh well, I'll clean that off when the net has no more wormies in it. And it looks like there's no more wormies in it. I just got the other tank a bigger net today, like a longer sticked net, and gave this one its old net. Anyhow, they look like they want to knock out, so I figure I'll knock out too. So it was good talking and chit-chatting with you guys. It actually helps me more than it helps you. Don't forget that. It really does. I'm not even lying about that. I'm not even exaggerating that point. I get crazy in my own head, and when I talk to you guys, it tends to help me sleep at night. And I know that probably sounds weird to y'all, but no, it's the truth. Yeah, that is so true, KG. That is so true. But yeah, later guys. Love you guys. Hashtag FishFam. That goby is just trippy. They're both trippy. And don't forget, always keep it fishy. Night night, fishies.